Hi, I'm Kate with The Productive Teacher, and today we're going to practice spelling the long O sound with the letters O-W. Now, we usually use this spelling at the end of words or syllables, but sometimes they can go in the middle, very rarely. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to show you a picture and tell you a word. You're going to count the number of sounds in the word, and then we're going to work together to spell each sound until we've spelled the word. I recommend you use a whiteboard or a scratch piece of paper to work along with me. Let's get started. Our first word is arrow. Arrow. How many sounds do you hear in the word arrow? There are 3 sounds in the word arrow. What's the first sound you hear in the word arrow? Ah is the letter A. What's the second sound you hear in arrow? R. And we need 2 R's here. The A sound doesn't always sound like a short A when we say arrow, but it helps to think of it as a short A to remember we need those 2 R's to separate the A from the next vowel sound. What's the last sound you hear in arrow? O. And today we are spelling the O sound, O-W. This is how you spell arrow. Let's go to our next word. Our next word is bowl. Bowl. How many sounds do you hear in the word bowl? There are 3 sounds in the word bowl. What's the first sound in bowl? B. What letter makes the B sound? The letter B. What's the next sound in bowl? B. O. O today we're spelling with O-W. You will notice that bowl is one of the exception words where the O sound is not at the end of the word, but it is spelled O-W. And what's the last sound in bowl? Ol. Ol is spelled with the letter L. This is how you spell bowl. Let's go to our next word. This is a crow. Crow. How many sounds do you hear in the word crow? There are 3 sounds in the word crow. What's the first sound you hear? K, k. The K sound before a consonant is spelled with the letter C. What's the next sound you hear in crow? K, What letter makes the sound? The letter R. And what's the last sound in crow? O. Remember today, we use O-W to spell the O sound because this is the spelling we're practicing. Let's go to our next picture. Here we have pillow. Pillow. How many sounds do you hear in the word pillow? There are 4 sounds in the word pillow. What's the first sound you hear? We use the letter P to make the P sound. What's the next sound you hear? Pill, That's a short I. We spell it with the letter I. What's the next sound you hear? Pill, We use L to make the ol sound. It's coming after a short vowel, so we're going to have 2 L's here. And what's the last sound you hear in pillow? O. O-W to make the long O sound at the end of the word. Nice job. Our next word is rainbow. Rainbow. How many sounds do you hear in the word rainbow? There are 5 sounds in the word rainbow. What's the first sound? What letter makes the sound? The letter R. What's the next sound in rainbow? A. We've got a long A sound. I know it's spelled with a vowel team. A-I. Rain. What letter makes the N sound? The letter N. What's the next sound in rainbow? Rain. B. And what's the last sound in rainbow? O. O is spelled O-W at the end of the word. Nice job. Our next word is, okay, it's a forest, but the word is snow. – Snow. How many sounds do you hear in the word snow? There are 3 sounds in the word snow. What's the first sound you hear? What letter makes the S sound? The letter S. What's the next sound in snow? The letter N. And what's the last sound you hear in the word snow? O. Today we're spelling that O-W. This is how you spell snow. Our next word, this is a little bird. It's called a sparrow. Sparrow. How many sounds do you hear in the word sparrow? There are 5 sounds in the word sparrow. What's the first sound you hear? S, spelled with the letter S. Next sound, sp, is the letter P. Next sound, sp, eh. Kind of sounds like an E. Does it remind you of a word that we've done earlier today? Sparrow, arrow. The end of sparrow is just arrow. So I know my next letter, even though it doesn't 100% sound like it, is the letter A. What's my next sound? Spare. Remember, I have those 2 R's after the A. And what's the last sound in sparrow? O, spelled O-W. This is how you spell sparrow. Our next word is window. Window. How many sounds do you hear in the word window? There are 5 sounds in the word window. What's the first sound you hear? W, w. What letter makes the W sound? W. What's the next sound you hear in window? W, I, short I, spelled with the letter I. What's the next sound? W, in, n. The letter N makes the N sound. What's the next sound? Wind, d. D makes the D sound. And the last sound, window. O is O-W. This is how you spell window. Our next word is a type of tree. It's a willow tree. Our word is willow. How many sounds do you hear in the word willow? There are 4 sounds in the word willow. What's the first sound you hear? W. Again, W. What's the next sound you hear? W, I, short I. O. We need 2 L's after the short I. And what's the last sound in willow? O. We know that's going to be O-W. Awesome job. What's our next word? This is our last word for today. It is elbow. Elbow. How many sounds do you hear in the word elbow? There are 4 sounds in the word elbow. What's the first sound? Short E, spelled with the letter E. What's the next sound you hear? L. The letter L makes the O sound. Elb. What letter makes the B sound? The letter B. And what's the last sound in the word elbow? O-W. All right, great job spelling today. I will see you next time.